Hey everyone, welcome back. It's time for another deep dive, and today we're going to be exploring something really interesting. The reasoning era of AI.
Sounds pretty futuristic.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like we're stepping into the world of sci-fi, but it's actually happening right now. And to help us navigate this new landscape, we're diving into Sequoia Capital's recent essay, Generative AI's Act O1. The reasoning era begins.
It's a fascinating read.
Right.
Really lays out how AI is evolving beyond just pattern recognition and moving towards actual reasoning.
Right, like AI that can actually think things through.
Exactly. And the essay really highlights how OpenAI's new model O1 is at the forefront of this shift.
Oh, one. That's one that used to be called Strawberry, right?
Yeah, they decided to go with a more formal name in the end.
Makes sense. So what makes O1 so different? The essay keeps mentioning this inference time compute thing, and I'm not totally sure I get it.
Okay, so imagine you're playing chess and you only have like a minute to make each move.
Okay, got it. Fast-paced chess.
Right. Now, a traditional AI might just quickly analyze the board based on its initial training data and make a move. But an AI with higher inference time compute would actually take more time to think things through.
So it's like it's actually strategizing.
Exactly. It's considering different possibilities and potential outcomes before making a decision.
So it's not just about how fast the AI can process information, but also how much time it spends actually reasoning.
Exactly. And that's what's so groundbreaking about O1. It actually employs what's called chains of thought to break down problems and reason through them step by step.
So it's like watching a human think through a problem.
In a way, yes. It's
Yeah.
really fascinating.
And that ties into this whole system one versus system two thinking thing that the essay talks about, right?
Exactly. So system one thinking is our fast intuitive thinking, like when you recognize a face or recall a simple fact.
Got it. Like knowing the capital of France is Paris.
Exactly. But for more complex tasks like solving a math problem or planning a trip, we need to engage our system two thinking.
The slower, more deliberate kind of thinking.
Right. And what sets O1 apart is that it seems to be demonstrating this system two capability. It's able to tackle those more complex multi-step problems that require deeper thought processes.
So O1 is like the first AI that can actually think like us in a way.
It's definitely a significant step in that direction.
Okay, so the essay mentions that O1 uses chains of thought for reasoning, but how does that actually work?
So it's a combination of its training data and a reinforcement learning process.
Reinforcement learning, so it's learning from its mistakes and getting better over time.
Exactly. It's constantly refining its reasoning abilities based on the feedback it receives.
Wow. So it's almost like O1 is learning how to think strategically, just like a human would with practice.
You could say that. And this has some pretty mind-blowing implications. The essay suggests that this shift toward reasoning could lead to AI systems that can tackle challenges that were previously considered impossible for machines.
Like what kind of challenges?
Now imagine AI that can help us develop new scientific theories or optimize incredibly complex systems, or even create art that rivals human creativity.
It's like AI is becoming less of a tool and more of a collaborator.
Exactly.
But this all sounds a little too good to be true. I mean, isn't there a risk that these super intelligent AI systems could become too powerful or even dangerous?
It's a valid concern, and that's why the essay stresses the importance of careful thought and planning as we navigate this new frontier. We need to ensure that these systems are aligned with human values and used responsibly.
So it's not just about building the most powerful AI possible, but about building AI that benefits humanity.
Exactly. And that brings us to another fascinating concept. The essay explores cognitive architectures.
Okay, cognitive architectures, what are those?
Think of them as specialized thinking structures designed to tackle specific types of tasks.
So like different AI systems might need different cognitive architectures depending on what they're designed to do.
Exactly. It's kind of like how a doctor and an engineer approach problems in very different ways. They need different mental frameworks and tools.
So it's not about creating one super AI that can do everything, but rather building specialized AI systems that are optimized for specific jobs.
Precisely. The essay gives the example of a company called Factory that's developing these AI droids with custom cognitive architectures.
AI droids, that sounds straight out of Star Wars.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But these droids are designed for things like code review or software migration. They're like highly skilled specialists in their respective fields.
So instead of replacing humans altogether, these AI systems are more like augmenting our capabilities.
That's the idea. And this leads to another interesting shift that the essay highlights the move from software as a service, or SaaS, to service as a software.
Wait, service as a software? I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, so instead of just providing software tools, AI systems will actually deliver services traditionally performed by humans.
Okay, give me an example.
Sure. like cybersecurity testing.
Mhm.
Right now, that's a very expensive process because it relies on highly skilled human experts. But an AI-powered cybersecurity tester could automate a lot of that work, making it more affordable and accessible.
So it's not about replacing human experts, but giving them a powerful new tool.
Exactly. And the essay points out that this shift towards service as a software has the potential to disrupt entire industries.
Wow, this is all really fascinating. So where do we go from here? Where is the money flowing in this rapidly evolving world of AI?
Well, the essay breaks down the investment landscape into a few key layers.
Okay, so where are the big players putting their bets?
Well, as you might expect, the infrastructure layer is dominated by the hyperscalers, like Google, Microsoft, Amazon. They're the ones investing heavily in the computing power needed to train and run these massive AI models.
It's like they're building the foundation for this whole new AI ecosystem.
Exactly. Then we have the model layer, where companies like OpenAI and Google's DeepMind are competing to develop the most advanced AI models.
And this is where we see a mix of hyperscalers and financial investors, right?
Yes. The essay mentions that financial investors are often drawn to the wow factor of these cutting-edge models, even if the financial returns aren't immediately clear.
It's like investing in the early days of the internet. You're betting on the long-term potential.
Exactly. Now, the next layer is where things get really interesting for venture capitalists. It's the layer of developer tools and infrastructure software.
So the companies that are building the picks and shovels for the AI gold rush.
Exactly. And the essay suggests that this is a particularly attractive area for investment because these tools will be essential for anyone working with AI.
Makes sense. So for venture capitalists looking to invest in AI, this layer seems like a pretty safe bet.
It's definitely worth considering. But the layer that's attracting the most attention from venture capitalists is the application layer.
So this is where we see AI being applied to real-world problems, solving specific needs for businesses and consumers.
Precisely. Like the examples we discussed earlier. AI-powered cybersecurity testing, AI-powered CRMs, AI work assistants, that kind of thing.
Right, the stuff that actually makes a difference in people's lives.
Exactly. And the essay highlights a few really interesting companies in this space, like Day.ai, which is developing an AI-powered CRM.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. They're getting a lot of buzz.
And then there's Glean, an AI work assistant
Yeah.
that helps you find information and complete tasks more efficiently.
So it's like having a super-powered research assistant at your fingertips.
Exactly. And the essay also mentions XBOW, a company that's building an AI-powered penetration tester.
Wait, an AI that can hack into systems? Isn't that a bit risky?
I know it sounds a little crazy, but think about it this way. Right now, cybersecurity testing is extremely expensive because it relies on highly skilled human experts.
Right.
XBOW's AI pen tester could automate a lot of that work,
Hmm.
making it much more affordable and accessible.
So it's not about replacing human security experts, but giving them a powerful new tool.
Exactly. And this really highlights the essay's overall message. AI is not about replacing humans, but about augmenting our capabilities and helping us work more effectively.
Which brings up another important point, the impact of AI on the job market. That's a concern a lot of people have. How does the essay address that?
The authors acknowledge that some jobs will inevitably be automated, but they also argue that AI will create entirely new industries and job roles that we can't even imagine yet.
So it's not just about job losses, but also about job creation.
Exactly. And the key will be for people to adapt and develop new skills that complement AI rather than compete with it.
So lifelong learning is going to be more important than ever.
Absolutely. And the essay also stresses the importance of education and training to prepare the workforce for this new era of AI.
It sounds like a lot of thought needs to go into how we manage this transition.
It definitely does. And that brings us to another crucial aspect, the ethical implications of AI.
Right. That's something we touched on earlier, but it's definitely worth exploring further.
The essay makes a very strong case for responsible AI development. We need to ensure that these systems are aligned with human values and used for the benefit of society.
So it's not just about building powerful AI, but about building it ethically.
Precisely.
Yeah.
We need to consider the potential consequences of our actions and ensure that AI is used in a way that promotes fairness, transparency, and accountability.
This all ties back to that intriguing concept of an AI Move 37 moment that we discussed earlier. You know, that moment where AI surprises us with a truly groundbreaking insight or capability.
Yes. The essay suggests that such a breakthrough could occur as AI's reasoning abilities continue to advance.
And if that happens, it could be a pivotal moment in human history.
It could mark a new era of collaboration between humans and AI, where we work together to solve some of the world's most pressing challenges.
This deep dive has been incredibly thought-provoking. It's clear that we're on the cusp of a major technological shift.
We are. And as we move further into this reasoning era of AI, the key will be to approach it thoughtfully, ethically, and with a clear vision for how we want this technology to shape our future.
It's a future full of both incredible opportunities and some very real challenges.
Exactly. But by engaging in these conversations and thinking critically about the implications of AI, we can help ensure that it's a future that benefits all of humanity.
I completely agree. This is definitely a topic we'll be revisiting in future deep dives.
I look forward to it.
But for now, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. And until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.
It's like a multi-layered cake.
Oh, okay. So where are the big players putting their money?
Well, the infrastructure layer, that's kind of the base of the cake. That's dominated by the hyperscalers, Google, Microsoft, Amazon.
Right, the giants.
Exactly. They're investing heavily in the computing power that's needed to train and run these massive AI models.
It's like building the foundation for a skyscraper, right? You need that solid base to support everything else.
Exactly. Then you've got the model layer.
Mm-hmm.
This is where companies like OpenAI and Google's DeepMind are battling it out to develop the most advanced AI models.
And this is where we see a mix of those hyperscalers and financial investors, right?
Yeah. The essay makes an interesting point about financial investors. They're often drawn to the wow factor of these cutting-edge models, even if the financial returns aren't super clear yet.
It's a bit like investing in the early days of the internet. You're betting on the long-term potential.
Exactly. And then we come to the layer that's really catching the eye of venture capitalists. It's the developer tools and infrastructure software layer.
So the companies that are building the tools that everyone else needs to work with AI.
Exactly. It's kind of like during the cloud computing boom. Remember all those companies that provided tools and software for developers? They did incredibly well.
Right. So history might be repeating itself here.
Potentially.
Hmm.
So for venture capitalists looking to get into the AI game, this layer is looking pretty attractive.
It's like a safer bet in a way.
It's definitely worth considering. But the layer that's generating the most buzz among venture capitalists is the application layer.
So this is where things get real. This is where we see AI being used to solve actual problems for businesses and consumers.
Exactly. Think about the examples we talked about earlier. AI-powered cybersecurity testing, AI-powered CRMs, AI work assistants.
The stuff that people are actually going to use.
Precisely. And the essay spotlights some interesting companies in this space, like Day.ai. They're developing an AI-powered CRM.
Yeah, I've heard of them. They're making some big waves.
And then there's Glean, an AI work assistant that helps you find information and get things done more efficiently.
Like having a super smart assistant by your side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the essay also mentions XPOW. They're building something pretty wild, an AI-powered penetration tester.
Hold on, an AI that can hack into systems? That sounds a little scary.
I know, right? But think about it this way. Cybersecurity testing is super expensive right now because it relies on these highly skilled human experts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But XPOW's AI penetration tester could potentially automate a lot of that work.
Yeah.
Making it way more affordable and accessible for companies of all sizes.
So it's not about replacing those human experts, but giving them a powerful new tool.
Exactly. And this really gets to the heart of the essay's message. AI is not about replacing us. It's about augmenting our capabilities and making us more effective.
Which brings us to a big question that a lot of people have. How is all of this going to impact jobs?
It's definitely a valid concern, and the essay doesn't shy away from it. The authors acknowledge that some jobs will inevitably be automated.
It's the fear of the robots taking over, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing. They also argue that AI will create new industries and new jobs that we haven't even thought of yet.
So it's not a simple equation of AI equals job losses?
Not at all. It's more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
And the key is going to be adaptability. People need to learn new skills and find ways to work alongside AI.
So lifelong learning is going to be crucial.
Absolutely. And the essay really stresses the importance of education and training to get people ready for this new era of AI.
It sounds like we need to be thinking about this very carefully.
We do. And that leads us to another really important consideration, the ethics of AI.
Right. We touched on that earlier, but it's definitely worth digging into deeper.
Absolutely. The essay makes a powerful argument for developing AI responsibly. We need to make sure that these systems align with human values and are used for the benefit of society.
So it's not just about building powerful AI, it's about building AI that's ethical.
Exactly. We need to think about the potential consequences and make sure that AI is used in a way that's fairest, transparent, and accountable.
This all circles back to something we talked about earlier, that AI Move 37 moment. The moment where AI does something truly unexpected and groundbreaking.
Right, like when AlphaGo made that move that no human player would have even considered.
Exactly. The essay suggests that we could see similar breakthroughs with reasoning AI.
And those breakthroughs could change everything.
It's like we're on the verge of a new era.
We are. And as we move into this reasoning era of AI, the key will be to approach it thoughtfully, ethically, and with a clear vision for the future.
A future where AI helps us solve problems and create a better world.
Exactly.
Yeah, it really feels like we're at a turning point.
It does, doesn't it? This reasoning era of AI could really change everything.
And we've talked about the potential benefits, but what about the potential downsides? I mean, a lot of people are worried about AI taking over jobs.
Right. That's a big one. And the essay acknowledges that, yes, some jobs will probably be automated.
Like, it's inevitable, right? As AI gets smarter.
Yeah, probably.
Mm.
But here's the thing. The authors also make the point that AI is going to create new industries and new jobs too.
Jobs that we can't even imagine yet.
Exactly. Like think about when cars were first invented.
Okay.
All those jobs related to horse-drawn carriages, blacksmiths, stable hands, all that,
Hmm.
those jobs disappeared.
Right.
But then a whole new industry sprang up around automobiles, manufacturing, sales, repairs, you name it.
So it's not just about jobs disappearing, it's about new jobs being created too.
Exactly. And just like the automobile revolutionized transportation, AI could revolutionize tons of other fields.
Okay, so the key is to be adaptable, to learn new skills that'll be valuable in this new world.
Right. And the essay really stresses the importance of education and training to prepare people for this AI-powered future.
So we need to be proactive about this, not just wait for the robots to take over.
Exactly. And that brings us to another crucial point that the essay brings up, AI ethics.
Right. We've touched on that, but it's definitely worth exploring further.
Yeah, it's super important. I mean, we need to make sure that these AI systems are being developed and used responsibly, that they're aligned with human values.
Like, we don't want to create AI that ends up harming us, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need to think carefully about the potential consequences of this technology and make sure it's being used for good.
So it's not just about building powerful AI, but building ethical AI.
Right. And the essay talks about this concept of an AI move 37 moment.
Hmm.
Remember we discussed that earlier?
Yeah, that moment where AI does something completely unexpected and game-changing.
Exactly. Like AlphaGo's move that no human would have ever thought of.
And the essay suggests we could see similar breakthroughs with reasoning AI.
Which is kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
Yeah, it's like we're standing on the edge of something truly transformative.
We are. And it's up to us to make sure this transformation is a positive one.
So we need to approach this new era of AI with both excitement and caution.
I think that's a great way to put it. We need to be mindful of both the potential benefits and the potential risks.
And engage in these important conversations about how to shape the future of AI.
Exactly, because the future of AI is not predetermined. It's something we're creating right now.
Well said. Well, this has been an incredible deep dive. Really thought-provoking.
It has been, yeah.
So to wrap things up, what's the one key takeaway you'd like to leave our listeners with?
I'd say this. The future of AI is in our hands. We need to be thoughtful about how we develop it and use it, and we need to make sure it's a future that benefits all of humanity.
That's a great message to end on. So to our listeners, thank you so much for joining us on this exploration of the reasoning era of AI.
It's been a pleasure.
Keep those questions coming and stay curious about the amazing world of AI. Until next time.